not buy stuff for the sake of buying stuff. I want to give gifts that people will actually use. Here are my top health-minded favorite things that I either own or I love to gift to other people. And a lot of them are under $50. Of course, I'll link to everything that I talk about, but you can also use this list as just a thought starter. Maybe it spurs on another idea for you, for those people who are hard to buy for, or even for yourself. Before we get into it, if you're new here, I'm Christy. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, and I help women navigate perimenopause so they can feel a bit more like themselves again during this rocky stage. And how this all relates is because these are products that I love as a perimenopausal woman, or I also understand the stress of the gift giving season. So I want to compile some things to give you some ideas and maybe take a little stress off your back. Let's get right into it. First is the 5-minute journal. I'm not a big journaling person. This was actually gifted to me a few years ago. It's something that I find that when I'm needing grounding during certain seasons of my life, I will come back to this. And this one I like because it does give you the prompts. It truly does take about 5 minutes to fill out those prompts. And it looks cute, it's nice, it's hardcover, so it looks nice sitting on a bedside table or on a desk. But there are plenty of other gratitude journals out there. It's awesome for teens. Love it for people our age or just anyone who could use a little bit more gratitude and intentionality in their life. The next one is Plant Food by Happy Houseplant. So what does plant food have to do with health? Well, my plants are like my children, and they are a hobby that brings me a lot of joy. I would not consider myself having a green thumb. I have killed so many plants, but it wasn't until I started following this woman on Instagram, a fantastic follow. I'll put her handle here, but she created this formula that is not only really cute, but is also very easy to use, can work with a range of different houseplants. She makes it very uncomplicated. And I will put a before and an after of my fiddle leaf so you can see the impact that this plant food has made. The before picture of this fiddle leaf is technically not really a before. It was after using this for probably 3 to 6 months. And the after is a picture I just took yesterday of the plant so you can see the difference in how much it grew. This plant was on its very last leg and this absolutely saved it. So I am a huge fan. I have actually had to pull back on how much of this plant food I am feeding some of my plants because they are getting too big. I'm worried that they are going to be touching the ceiling soon. It's very giftable. It's very cute. The branding's really cute. So it's a fun gift for somebody who likes plants or who wants to be good at taking care of plants. This is a really nice gift to give. The next one is a meditation cushion. Even if you're somebody who does not meditate, I oftentimes use this on the floor in my living room to be able to work on the ottoman, and it helps with posture and gives me a different way to be able to position myself rather than sitting or standing at my desk. I also will sit on it while I'm watching TV just to give my body a different position. And of course, it is great for meditation if that is your thing. It's just a nice tool to give yourself different positions to sit on, which can help with mobility and help reduce tension rather than working in the same position all the time, all day long. The next one is a candle warmer. So warming candles without flames helps reduce some of the indoor pollutants that can happen from burning a candle. And you could pair that with a non-toxic candle, so something that is soy-based or beeswax-based and scented with essential oils, as a nice way to be able to give the ambiance of a candle that can also sit unattended, but then make the house smell really nice. The next one is a gua sha stone. I've talked about gua sha before. It's a way to support lymphatic drainage around your face. It also helps improve collagen production. There's a whole bunch of different benefits of using a gua sha stone. These are pretty inexpensive and you could pair it with some oil. I use jojoba oil, but you can use any other oil that is tolerated on the skin for using this stone. It's a nice gift for anyone who is interested in skincare and adding a little bit to their routine. I'm telling you that this paired with red light works wonders. The next one is a scalp massager. I've talked about this as well. It's actually pretty gross how much buildup from shampoo and the products that you use on your hair end up on your scalp, even if you regularly wash your hair. So using something like this can help increase the circulation to your scalp. It can also help strip some of that stuff away. When I was in my late 30s, I started noticing that my scalp was getting more itchy and flaky, and this has been helpful in increasing that circulation and decreasing the flakes that I was having, and just overall helping getting a deep clean of my scalp. So this is a nice, pretty inexpensive tool that makes a really great stocking stuffer. Another idea is an instant read meat thermometer. Oh man, I overcooked way too many chicken breasts and steaks before I finally got one one of these. They're pretty inexpensive, but they are such a helpful tool in ensuring that you get an instant read of your protein before overcooking it. I used to have one that took about a minute in order to get the temperature read, and by that point I had already overcooked things. So having something that is an instant read is a really nice tool. I've given this to my in-laws, my parents. We have one. It's a really nice stocking stuffer gift as well. This next one is the Squatty Potty. And I don't actually have one of these, but I have given it a gift first in a white elephant gift, and this gift was fought over. And it's one that I have recommended to many clients. So what it is a stool that you put next to your toilet and you prop your feet on it, and it actually puts you in a more ergonomic, I guess you could say, position that better supports pooping, to cut straight to the chase. So it supports digestion, detoxification, and can help bloating too. So if there's somebody who maybe spends a little too long on the toilet or has some of those problems, this could be a really nice, thoughtful gift for them to help support better bowel movements. Who does not want that? The next one is all the rage these days, and that is a weighted vest, if someone does not have one already. Although I don't recommend weighted vests for everyone, I love weighted vests because it does help increase the resistance of your walks, which helps to build bone. And that is something in the perimenopause age range we need to be concerned about, because our bone health is something that naturally starts to decline if we don't do anything about it. Stacking it onto a habit that somebody is already doing can be a nice tool. Word of warning here is you don't want to go too heavy. So do not go more than 10% of somebody's body weight. It's better even to start at 5% because it can change your center of gravity a little bit and can cause injuries. Please be careful when you start with them. They aren't for everyone, but they can be a nice tool for someone who is a walker and maybe wants to try a new accessory. For the foodie or a health-focused person who likes to experiment in the kitchen a little bit, this next one is a fermentation lid so they can make their own sauerkraut or fermented veggies at home. Why I love this is because it makes it so simple for beginners. Like, if I can do this, anyone can do this. There's a one-way valve, so it helps with any of the gases that are produced in the fermentation process. It helps release that air naturally without letting any air in that would then spoil your fermentation. So you simply screw it on to a jar, screw it on tight, and it also has a number counter on here so you can track which date you started the fermentation. There's other fermentation kits that I'll link below that are great starter kits for anyone who would be interested in fermenting their own veggies. This is a gift that keeps on giving and makes fermentation really accessible and easy for the beginner. And on the topic of lids, the next one is a sprouting lid. So similar to the fermentation lid, this makes sprouting an absolute breeze and allows people to make broccoli sprouts right on their counter. As you may know, broccoli sprouts are one of my top recommended foods for perimenopausal women, but boy, oh boy, they are expensive. So pairing this lid with a bag of broccoli sprout seeds is less than $25 and can give them dozens and dozens of batches of sprouts that they can make right on their counter in less than 5 days. So this is another really fun one for someone who's more health conscious or is a foodie or loves experimenting with these types of health foods. Another small item that I think is a fun stocking stuffer is a tongue scraper. For someone focused on their health, having a tongue scraper is a nice, easy, tiny habit that can be added into somebody's routine that helps balance bacteria in your mouth. It helps rid of bacteria as you're scraping your tongue. It also helps with fresher breath too. I've added it into my morning routine and now I crave it as much as I crave brushing my teeth. It just makes my tongue feel incredibly clean and it feels like it's part of my oral routine in order for my mouth to feel clean and healthy. When you have overgrowths that are going on in your mouth, those can also end up in your gut. They are connected. Having a tool like this can also support your gut health. The next one is a salt gift set. I do love giving spice gift sets to people, but the problem with some of the spice gift sets is that the blends, while they're unique and cool, they're hard to use. I love the salt gift sets because salt is something that everyone is familiar with, and flavoring the salt in a little different way doesn't feel like as much of a stretch to use it versus a crazy blend that has spices you've never even heard of. Jacobs and Salt Company makes a really cute set that they come in these almost little vials that are fun, so you're not giving them a ton, it's just a little bit where they can flavor them. The Spice House, which started in Milwaukee, which is where I'm from, so I'm a little biased, but they have also a salt set option that can be a fun gift idea for someone as well. And when you do pure sea salt, in addition to the delicious flavor, there's a lot of health benefits to that too. The next one, another one for somebody looking for a little more self-care in their life, is a dry brush. And you could also gift it along with a book called Book of Lymph. I don't have a copy of it because I rented it from the library, so I don't have a copy here, but it's an excellent book by Lisa Livette Gainsley, who is an expert in lymphatic drainage. It's a very practical book that gives tips on the benefits of dry brushing and easy routines based on different ailments you might have in your body. So dry brushing is a great low-cost habit to add into a wellness routine. This next one is not only a great stocking stuffer, but can be great for a gift exchange where it's just a good generic item for anybody. And this is a shower steamer. So there are little pods that you can get. I love the one from Primarily Pure where they're scented pods with essential oils. You basically put it on the floor of your shower and turn on your water, and then the steam helps it release the most amazing smell and makes it feel like a spa experience. It's great for relaxation, but also if you're under the weather. So inhaling eucalyptus feels really good when you're feeling stuffed up. Something people would not buy for themselves, but feels like an elevated luxury experience in their own shower. The next one is a weighted eye mask. This one is by Nod Pod. I don't sleep with this because it would roll off, but it is a nice tool when you are looking to relax and decompress. Having gentle pressure on your eyes is a great way to initiate relaxation. Another great item if you do legs up on the wall before bed is to put this on your eyes. Again, this is a gift that someone might not necessarily buy themselves, but it is a luxury to have in the arsenal to help someone relax. This next one is not as sexy of a gift idea, but it is one that whenever I get it, I am very excited, and that is glass storage containers. So if you have somebody in your life who is still using plastic, especially if they are heating plastic in the microwave, replacing their plastic containers with glass is a really wonderful gift for their health. It's non-toxic food storage that decreases the endocrine disruptors and toxins that can happen when you store and heat food. So it is the gift that keeps on giving. The next one is a red light mask. I'm sure you have seen these all over the place as a tool to use within your skincare routine, and I can attest that it truly does help improve the texture of my skin, helps it look more moisturized and glowy, I guess you could say. There are claims that it helps reduce fine lines, which I can believe because it does help improve cellular function, and so that can help with the turnover and reduce fine lines. I haven't used it enough to be able to say that, but every single time I use the red light mask, I get comments on my skin and asking what I do. This is a really awesome tool for anyone who cares about skincare. Now, there are some very expensive options that are out there. As you can see, this is actually a generic one, and a little hack that I would recommend looking into is finding one of those brands and looking at their specs, which I'll list the specs right here, looking at each of those and then comparing that with a different, less expensive model. I'm telling you that it seems some of these brands are a little overpriced. Of course, you're paying for a brand, you're paying for a brand's reputation, but I wanna make this more accessible for everyone, so I wanted to give you a little hack on a workaround for that. I have a lot of thoughts on red light therapy. I've done a lot of deep dives on it. So if that's something that you guys would want me to do another video on someday, I'm more than happy to do that. So just let me know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in. Another idea that I like to give to some people, and sometimes I like for myself, are gift certificates or memberships to some sort of health membership. So not saying like a gym, but it could be a sauna studio or a place where you can get infrared sauna, or there's some water therapy places, or even massage therapy. There's different places too that you can give gift certificates to those types of services. So those are a great gift of an experience to give to somebody that isn't another thing in their house. And it could be something that they wouldn't normally spend that money on themselves. And so it can be a really nice self-care kind of a gift that does make a difference when it comes to stress regulation, reducing inflammation, and improving circulation. Kind of along those lines, another nice gift idea that I like to give to people are classes. So there's a lot of virtual classes that are available. So Masterclass is a really great catch-all for the person who has everything. They have hundreds of classes and they feature leaders in that space. So a lot of familiar faces like actors, business leaders, famous chefs, people who are top of their game in those categories lead these classes. So it's almost like a different version of a Netflix and chill, as you can actually sit and binge a class, and they are very entertaining. looking, they're so well done, and it's a nice gift for that person who has everything. Another idea when it comes to classes is doing an in-person class, gifting a cooking class or a knife skills class or painting class or golf lessons or something that is a nice gift in an area that brings them some joy. Again, it's another option that doesn't bring more stuff into somebody's house. The next one, I've talked about this so many times, and that is my Oura Ring. Wearable technology is all the rage these days. There's so many different options that are out there. I love this one because the Oura Ring was the very first wearable that I used that focused on recovery and making sure that I'm getting enough sleep, that I'm getting enough high quality sleep, tracking my stress, tracking my heart rate variability, and those different types of markers that help tell me, can I push it a little harder today, or should I consider pulling back a little bit and resting more? Stress resilience is at an all-time low when we hit perimenopause, so it's really nice to have just a little tap on my shoulder as a reminder to check in on my recovery. And that's why I love the Oura Ring. I've used it to track different changes that I've made in my sleep routine or just my health routine in general to see what truly is supporting my body versus not. This has been the impetus of many changes I have made in my life since I've had it. I've had it for about 4 years now. The only call out here is that once you do purchase the ring, it does require a subscription. It's pretty low. I think it's about $5.99 a month. So it's not terribly expensive. And I think that pays for itself 10 times over again in a month, but I just wanted to call that out since it's not just like a one-time thing that you're buying. The next one is a Creamy. These went viral maybe 2-ish years ago, and we finally got one last year. It is such a fun little gadget to have in our house. Trust me, I did not want to buy another small appliance, and my husband didn't either, but we have a Creamy almost every single day as a family, and we all love it. It makes ice cream out of almost anything. You can keep it simple, where you just make it out of milk and maybe a little sweetener like maple syrup and some vanilla, or you can go crazy and start to do different concoctions with yogurts or cottage cheese, or even taking a can of pineapple chunks with just juice, no added sugar, pouring that right in. It makes a creamy sorbet. Or you can use it to help reach your protein goals by adding protein powder to the milk and making a creamy dessert out of it that's low sugar, nutrient dense, but also feels a bit like a treat. And if you're dairy free, there's non-dairy options too. You can do non-dairy milk. You can do more of a sorbet with fruit. You can do non-dairy yogurts. There's a lot of different options out there for any dietary preference. Another great gift option is doing some sort of high quality, grass-fed, pasture-raised, regenerative meat subscription box. So if somebody lives in an area where they don't have access to a grass-fed or pasture-raised regenerative farm, using a service like ButcherBox or Wild Pastures or Primal Pastures are great home delivery options for premium, high-quality regenerative meat. So whether or not you buy someone a couple months of a subscription or give a gift card for 1 month of a subscription, it's a wonderful way to be able to gift some nutrient-dense, sustainable, and convenient food for someone. Another gift idea that I love and I got last year was a plush robe. I get about 30 minutes of downtime on weekdays before I go to bed. And in that time, I wash my face and I put my robe on because it's nice and cozy, especially in the winter. A plush robe is a wonderful gift to give around the holiday season. The one that I have is by the Chrissy Teigen line. Yes, Chrissy Teigen's robe, which just seems odd. It is so soft and fluffy, but there are many different soft plush robes that are out there. There's also weighted robes, so that can also help with that stress relief and wind down before bed. It's great for somebody who could use a little more self-care and comfiness when it comes to going to bed. This next one looks like a torture device, but it's actually an acupressure mat. Each of these plastic pieces are spiky, and laying on it or putting pressure on it is a great way to help with relaxation, believe it or not, also circulation, and it's a great tool to be able to use if you do like feet up on the wall before bed, or a tool to relax before bed. I have a set that has 3 pieces, but I find that the pieces I use most are the pillows and the main body mat. The foot mat is nice, but I don't use it a lot, and I would say it's a less required piece. This one is by Pronomat, which is a very high quality brand, but there are lots of other less expensive options that you can find. Just be sure to take a good look at reviews to be sure that it's like sturdy enough plastic to be able to withstand that pressure. The next one is adjustable weights. There is nothing like the convenience of working out at home, but I don't know about you, having a huge weight rack is not something that I'm interested in having in my house. We have adjustable weights from Bowflex as well as Power Blocks. I'll link to both of them below. You don't have to go for the premium brands. There's a lot of off brands now that are also pretty well rated. So these are great options to be able to have an entire weight rack at your disposal, but it takes up a very small footprint. It allows you to continue to do progressive overload, which is so important for weight training and increasing your strength and building muscle without having to have a weight rack in your house, which is just not feasible for most homes. The next one is a Theragun or some sort of massage gun. We have the Theragun. We splurged on actually a refurbished one, so we didn't buy this one at a full price brand new one. We got a bit of a discount on it because it is refurbished, but there are many other massage guns that are out there. These are great for recovery tools. If you are working on building muscles or you have different areas of tension in your body and you can't always go get a massage, this is a nice tool where you can work on the muscle tension yourself. I get a lot of neck tension and I can easily reach my neck with the way that these handles work. So this is also a way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Your vagus nerve runs down your neck. So sometimes I'll do it lightly over my neck before bed if I know that it's a night where I'm gonna have trouble winding down. Therabody also came out with one that is a ball. It's called a Wave Solo. It's much less expensive than the massage gun, but it vibrates, and because it's a ball, it can help with trigger points and is a less expensive option to be able to still work out some of the kinks. I've been wanting to try that one. Have you tried it? If anyone's tried it, let me know. I'd love to hear your review on it. And the next one is a food gift set, but more specifically, a tinned fish gift set, which I love the one by Fishwife. So if anyone in my life is watching this, I would love that for Christmas. Those types of gift sets are nice options to give as host gifts or somebody who likes to try different unique flavors. The Fishwife gift set is fun because there's a lot of different tinned fish types and flavors that are included. So it helps people try different things. They could use it as an appetizer or a nice fancy gourmet tinned fish to treat themselves. And it comes in cute packaging. They also have one that comes with a cookbook, so it can give them some different fresh ideas to try. Along that same idea is giving a gift set of high quality cold pressed olive oils or vinegars. Those are fun options for people to experiment with in a type of product that isn't so much of a stretch and can feel like a little bit of luxury to try some of these higher quality brands that may not be accessible at the grocery store. The next one is an ice roller. I love the ice roller by the Skinny Confidential because it is a sturdy tool. This could be used as a weapon. It's heavy. It also has a really nice grip in here too. Oh, I just love this thing. It feels like luxury every time I touch it, and it retains the cold very well. So you can rub it on your face. It helps depuffing on your face. It also helps if I have a tension headache. I just keep it in the freezer and bust it out when I need it. And I rub it on my skin first to take some of that initial cold off, and then I will rub it on my face. There are plenty of other different ice rollers out here, so you don't need to do this one, but this one feels really premium and nice. It might be a special treat for somebody that they wouldn't normally buy for themselves. This next one might seem a little weird, but it is a balance board with a slack line. I love the one by Gibbon. This is a tool that someone probably would not buy themselves. So this was a gift idea for my parents, and they have it sitting in their living room. When we were recently out there visiting them, I found myself standing on it all the time when I was in the living room because it's just there. It helps with your balance and your stability. Even standing on this for 10 seconds, you could feel muscles in my legs and my feet that I normally don't exercise. My kids loved climbing on it too, so it can be a fun toy for kids as well. But for aging adults, it's great for stability and balance and muscle tone in the lower legs. The next one is a portable Bluetooth speaker. This one might be an obvious, but I find that there are some people who still don't have one of these, which is shocking. You don't have to get one this big. You can get much smaller versions, but I love the JBL because it has really great sound quality, and we use this all the time. We'll take it outside on vacations, bike rides, into the bathroom. My girls will take a shower with it. We'll take it in the basement. We don't have surround sound in our house, so this is a way to allow really great sound wherever you are. This next one might be a little bit out there, but I have wanted to give this as a gift to someone, and it has been on my list for a long time of something that I want. And that is a personal color analysis. Color analysis is becoming much more popular these days, and it is possible to do them in person. There is a woman on Instagram, when I used to be on Instagram. I loved her content, and she is so good at what she does, and she offers color analysis, and I'm not affiliated with her at all. In fact, I'm hoping that I get it sometime because I would love to hear her thoughts on color analysis for me. But I have been eyeing this as a gift idea for others, or for me as something that somebody wouldn't buy for themselves, but it could revitalize how they are looking at their clothes and making choices when it comes to colors that they're wearing or what to do with their hair during this age range when our bodies feeling less like ourselves. Gifts like these can be a way to feel a little bit more revitalized in our skin. And again, it's not another thing in your house. The next one is one that I got for Christmas last year, and that is an extra large, high quality wooden cutting board. If you are still using a plastic cutting board, please put a wooden cutting board on your wish list this year. Plastic, when you are putting a knife on it, it can create little chips of the plastic, and that ends up into your body, and we do not want plastic in our body. So using wood is a much better material for your cutting boards. I have a Boost cutting board, which I love. It is a higher end brand. It was a very nice gift, but you can find extra large cutting boards that work just as well. And having that extra space truly made cooking more enjoyable. And you have to feed yourself every single day for the rest of your life. So let's make this process feel a little bit more enjoyable. And the last one, the most expensive one on my list, and one that my husband and I gave to each other as a gift, this one was actually for our anniversary one year, was the temperature controlled mattress pad. I've talked about this in my bedroom tour as a great way to support sleep, and it is a way to be able to regulate the temperatures on both sides of the bed, especially if you're sleeping with a partner. And when we are experiencing temperature changes in this life stage, having something that can help keep it at the temperature that is your preferred temperature can be so supportive for sleep. It allows you and your partner to customize whatever temperature feels better for you, which can make a huge difference in your sleep quality, and sleep can be hard to come by these days, and is also so important for the body to be able to recover and heal. Tools like this can feel like a luxury item, but when you think about how much of your life you spend in bed every day, it is a drop in the bucket on how much of an impact it can make on your long-term health. The one that we have is discontinued, but I will link to the one that is the newer version of it. I will also link to another brand that is great called 8 Sleep. That is another mattress pad version that uses a different type of technology. So you could look up the difference between the two and see which one is most fitting for you. Okay, I think we made it. I think we made it through our list. I hope that was helpful. And again, I will link to everything below, but I hope this gave you some different ideas to think of for those that are on your gift giving list, or even for your own personal wish list. I would love to know what is on your wish list this year. I love hearing what other people are asking for. And let me know if you have any go-to gifts for those people who are so hard to buy for. Please share in the comments so we all can get more ideas. A lot of these things are small pieces that can be added into your life that over time can compound and make a really big difference in how you feel. So if you like this, here's a video on my top 10 tiny habits that feature some of these items as well as some others, and the habits that are free that can make such a huge difference in how you feel in this life stage. All right, that covers it. You got this. I'm here with you every step of the way, and wishing you and yours a very happy holiday season.